Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Saabythesimmer. I hope you're doing well today. It has been a while since I've uploaded a speed build on this channel, or any video actually. And if I'm honest, this video took a long time to edit. The speed build took me this build generally took me like 3 days to do, to like complete, because I kind of was just doing it bit by bit. And like I just have had zero energy. I really want to fix up my diet and just give myself better options in terms of what I eat, because I feel like what I'm eating is just not giving me energy. So then I just feel really sluggish and low energy for the rest of the day, and then it just means that everything else that I'm trying to do just gets put off because I'm just not in the mood, or I'm just not got the energy. I know this is a really random rant, but it's kind of related to why it's been difficult for me to upload as frequently as I wanted to and used to. I mean, I don't have as much free time as I did before, so I just have weekends, and today I'm recording this voiceover during the bank holiday, so I have today. But I just felt like I did not a lot. I went out this weekend, so when you're watching this I went out on the Saturday. Well, I went out on the Saturday and Sunday, and then it was on my way home Sunday afternoon, and then so I spent the rest of Sunday just chilling, and then today I woke up and just wanted to chill as well. So everything just feels like effort, to be fair. I plan on tidying my room because it's starting to get a bit out of hand, and organize things a bit better, but I haven't even touched anything yet, so we'll try that another day. I guess we'll tackle that another day. I do have some time off in June that I've booked off, so I'm hoping to just get some things done, get myself sorted out as well. This time of the year means that my birthday's coming up. I say this time of the year, but as soon as it approaches summer, I'm just oh my gosh, my birthday's around the corner. It's all the way in August. I say all the way, that's only a few months away, but it's in August, and I haven't really got anything planned. It's not really a big one this year. I'm 29 this year. Next year I want to do a big solo trip, because it'll be my 30th, so I really wanted to enter my 30s with a bang. So I'm planning on doing a little solo trip. I still haven't organized anything, I haven't booked anything yet, but that's the goal. So I just need to get my head in the game essentially, and book some things, get some things sorted, and plan it out a bit better. So I'm just organized. And yeah, that's about it. I can't lie, I don't know, let me know if you're someone who experiences has periods, menstruates, whatever you want to call it. Let me know, because there's a time within our cycle that things are just a bit odd. I just feel I'm not feeling like myself, but at the same time it's not that I'm not feeling like myself, it's just all the things that I normally don't think about or care about my day-to-day life, those kind of come to the surface during a certain time of the month. And it's not even I'm due on or I'm on, it's during that fertile window, that ovulation week, which it might be too much to some people, but this is just me being real. But this I've just been feeling things that I don't normally feel, and it's kind of got me a bit spun. I don't know how to explain it, I don't know what to do with it, but I feel I haven't even spoken anything talked about this build at all yet. But let me talk about this build and then I'll get back into the topic if I bloody remember, because I feel my memory is terrible. So this is a base game build with just the new kits I've used. So the basement kit and the greenhouse haven, I think it's called. I think it's base game treasures and greenhouse havens kit. So I've just used free packs. Well, I say free packs because I use the free holiday pack thingy as well. So I've used free DLCs plus base game. So if you just have base game, you don't have any of the kits, you're not going to be missing out on loads of things. The greenhouse, you can just replace the windows, you can replace the roof, the glass kind of roof that I put at the back of the build. And what else could you replace? Any of the things that I've used from the the basement kit or the gardener's kit, you can just easily replace. I mainly kind of wanted to just use the kits because it was new and I haven't used it yet, and I felt I wanted to build a house that had a greenhouse. I also wanted to build a house that had a sunroom. I've done sunrooms before, but I feel the greenhouse kit really gave us the opportunity to make a sun house with a variation of different types of windows and looks and stuff, because you've got a screened porch style window, and then you've got just a glass window. So I think originally I go in with the glass window, but then I realized that there's a screened kind of porch style window, and I feel that works a bit better for a sunroom. And then for the greenhouse I put on like the side of the build, I end up just using like the normal kind of glass windows as well. So I went for the shape. So I originally, you would have seen that I did move the lot. So I originally started on the Garden Essence lot, I believe it's called, the one where the best, the BFFs live, that lot in Willow Creek. But I needed more space. Like once I got the base of the shell down, I was like, yeah, there's no garden space. There's just nothing. And if I wanted to use the greenhouse kit, I also wanted to do like a garage, so I could use the basement kit, because I didn't plan on doing a basement, but I wanted to use the basement items, and I felt like they work well in a garage. So I had to make more space. So I then moved this to a 50 by 50 lot. So it is you should be able to see the name on the top of the screen. I think it's called Oakstead. So it's the 50 by 50 lot that's on the Sage Estates, in Willow Creek. So like the area with the two big homes. I think this is like the neighbors of the Spencer Kim family, I believe. So I was even tempted to like renovate their home, because I was looking at it and I was like, there's some cool elements to it, but like, I don't know, it needs something else. So I'm wondering if I should renovate it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me renovate like the Spencer Kim house, because I don't do a lot of like base game renovations on this channel, but if you want me to, I will do it. Like, I'm open to it. So yeah, this is where it's located, and this lot is so pretty. Like, it's such a beautiful lot, because it feels very much like its own estate. It feels very separate from the rest of the world, so it does feel a bit more like, I don't even want to say luxurious, but it just feels a bit more like bougie, if I'm honest. And I wanted to build like a big family home, and I felt like this made sense to be where it is, because it's a bit secluded. They definitely have to have money to live here, because child, this is an expensive house, okay? I did not budget anything at all, so I think at the end of the build it came up to like 300,000 something. So yeah, it's a big build. It's a big build. I always choose to do these voiceovers at the most inconvenient times for myself, or like I just cram everything in. So I've literally just eaten and I'm doing a voiceover, and then my voice keeps going croaky and like dry and things, but I'm like, it's because you've just eaten, like you should have taken some time. But I'm trying to do things at this as and when I think of it. I'm like, okay, I can do the voiceover now because my mic has been plugged in for a little while. But yeah, and what else do I need to tell you about the details? So it's a 50 by 50 lot, Willow Creek, base game, and just the basement kit and the garden greenhouse kit. I was gonna say the desert lots kit. I feel like I use that quite often, to be fair. So that's the only packs that I've used, and then like the free holiday pack thingy. So I do skip some things in this speed build just because it's such a long speed build as it is, and I don't want it to be any longer. So originally I kept the footage of the garage in, but I felt like you guys, it wasn't really that interesting to see the garage come together, to be fair. So you'll see me like put the shape together and like figure out how I want it to look, because I moved it around quite a few times. Like I had it facing the front of the build, and then I was gonna put it at like an angle, but then I decided that I wanted it to be kind of like facing towards, so like you'd have to drive through the gate and turn left to go into the garage basically. So you'll see me change it around, and then how I create the kind of garage doors, because I was just going to use the base game ones that came in the like debug menu, but they always clip into the top of the roof if you're using like a short wall height, and I didn't want to use the tall wall height. What? I didn't want to use the tall wall height, so I ended up just creating my own like garage doors essentially. So what I do is in the debug menu, they've got like these poles. I think they're for one of the fences that we have in the game, in like the debug menu, I believe. So I've used those several times before in different things and different builds, and so I just use that to line it up, and then I just use like a separate wallpaper. So I use the siding to give it like the garage door feel, and then I just do the same on the other side, so it kind of just looks like it makes sense. And then yeah, you'll see me kind of switch things around and like fiddle around with it, and I create some windows to kind of give it like a sliding, not a sliding door, but like I tried to give it that garage look. So I just add some windows, and I do like overlap them. I do end up adding some windows on this side of the garage as well to give some extra lighting in there. I just felt like at some point it was just getting a bit dark and dingy, and like the only lighting was the lights I put in there, and I kind of wanted a bit more natural light in there. I do put like a little door as well, like a side entrance to the garage as well. In the garage I don't put a lot of things, and like I said, I don't really show you how I put it together, so I end up just putting in a punching bag. What else I put in there? The woodworking station. I put in the bookcase that we got from the basement kit. I put in the chairs that we got from the basement kit. I just felt like all the things that you wouldn't have in your like house, you would just put in the basement, or if you just put in the garage. That's what I did basically. The landscaping I tried to keep pretty simple. I felt like I spent way too long in landscaping, even though it's very simple. But it's because I ended up starting the landscape and then I changed around some of the way I wanted the garden to look, and then had to go in and make those changes. It was just a bit of a long process. And I realized as well, because I use keyboard and mouse, sometimes I build quite slowly because I'm just like taking my time. And it just obviously means that I have a lot more footage to edit because I have a lot more footage that I filmed, because I'm not building as quickly as I normally do with like just the controller. But it is what it is. I'm okay with it. So I end up creating like a little pathway. Like I kind of separate the front of the build to the garden, and there's like separate sections in the garden. You've got the pool area with like entertainment space, some seating, a bar, that kind of thing. And then we've got like an area where the children can just sit and play. I put a tent from the debug menu from the summer Sim sessions, that's what it was called. I was called it summer something, but the Sim sessions, like when we had that Sim sessions thingy, they gave us like some random stuff in the debug, like tents and like little food trucks and stuff. So I've used the tents. To be fair, when I replace this build down, so what I normally do is I build my build, put it up in the library, and then I replace it down on the lot, so that if I make any edits, the caption stays the same, and that the base of the game stays the same, and then that way I can just upload it to the gallery that way. But anyway, when I put this build back on the lot, there was no items from the debug menu from that Sim sessions. So the tent's gone, the lights, like the fairy lights that I used was gone, and that was really annoying because I was like, I hope that doesn't happen when you guys download this build, because technically it's just in the debug menu and you can find the items just on the gallery and it's just base game. So I don't understand why it just cancelled those items out. It was really annoying. So if it does, when you download this build, if it cancels like the tent and the fairy lights, I'm so sorry. You can just use the packs that we have. So we have tents in the game with like Snowy Escape, what do you call it? What's the camping kit pack called? I can't remember what the camping kit is called. The kit is called now, but that one comes with like tents as well. I'm pretty sure there's another kit that comes, another pack. I don't know why I'm saying kits. I think Get Famous, Outdoor Retreat. That's it. So Outdoor Retreat, Get Famous, Snowy Escape. I believe they all have tents, so you can just replace it if you have those packs with that. Or the fairy lights. I believe we got some with the high school years. Yeah, Copperdale, the high school years pack, and potentially even like Brindleton Bay, the cats and dogs pack, I think. So you can just replace those items. It is a bit annoying because like I've kind of landscaped it and terrain painted it around it, so it's just gonna look a bit odd. But you'll see when I get to like that back bit of the garden and like how I decorate it, and then I just basically carry out this idea of like red pops of flower. So I've put some like red flower from the window boxes from the debug menu on the windows, and then I kind of carry around that red, so I just add some like red bushes, some like flowery bushes into the landscaping, just to give that kind of like pop of color, because it's very green, it's very normal, like I was gonna say normal, neutral, but I wanted to keep it simple. Like they definitely have like a landscape, but they definitely have a gardener, so I just felt like it made sense to keep it really simple. And I use those like big kind of like palmy plants, I don't know what you would call them, but the big leafy plants, they're so pretty. I love using them because they kind of blend into the rest of the world as well, so I just thought it made sense. What else do I add into like the landscape? And that's pretty much it. I had some like big trees just to kind of like take up some space. We were working with a 50 by 50 lot, so I was definitely going to add in big items so I didn't have to worry about certain spaces. I don't do big builds, so this, I don't even feel like this is a very much a big build. I think it's just a big lot. I tend to like, if I've used a big lot, the build itself probably isn't even that big, because I just wonder how I'm going to fill out the space. This definitely could have been a larger home for sure. And I started building and like sectioning off the rooms, and I was like, this could potentially be more than like 8 sim kind of homes. So if you have mods and stuff and you can have more than 8 sims in your household, this is a good house to have. But it technically I can't even get the words out. Technically it has, how many rooms? I totally forgot. It definitely can have 8 sims. So you can have up to 8 sims in this house for sure, like you're living in this house. I believe it has 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. I think there's like an extra bathroom because there's like a half bathroom upstairs in like the games room. I did follow a floor plan. I also followed like a reference image. So I saw this image that I'll put on the screen right now. I saw it on Pinterest and I just had to like use it basically. I saw it and I was like, oh, I love the shape of the house. I don't know what it was, but I just loved the shape of the house. I loved how simple it was, and I knew I could just like make that work in The Sims and add a few tweaks here and there to make it look a bit more interesting. And so I did. That's basically what I did. I just followed the floor plan. I did make my own changes, but I mostly tried to follow the same floor plan. So we've got like a games room upstairs. So downstairs we have the master bedroom, we have an infant's bedroom. They both have their own bathrooms and like a walk-in wardrobe for the main like suite, the main room. And then there's also an office downstairs, there's like a playroom downstairs, a full bathroom downstairs, and then the sunroom, which has like kind of like some skill activities. I've done like the little crafts table for the children, easel, chess table, some seating, and a fireplace. I don't know if a fireplace makes sense in a sunroom, because essentially you'd be in there to like enjoy the sun. So I don't know if you'd want a fire, but I just thought aesthetically it looked cute, so it's in there. You can obviously remove it and put like a bookshelf in that like little nook instead. And then what else do we have downstairs? We have the kitchen, we have a dining room, we have kind of like two dining spaces. We have like a formal, I wouldn't even say formal, we just have a large dining room, and then we have a small kind of like breakfast room, and then we have like the island in the kitchen where you can sit and eat as well. I was tempted to add in like a small dining table into the kitchen just to fill up space, but it was just too close to the actual breakfast like nook, and I just thought like it just looked a bit odd as to why we had so much seating in the kitchen. And with how the Sims are, I know they would just like sit all over the place, so I'm sorry if your Sims never sit at the table, because they just keep be sitting all over the place in this house. But for me, my Sims tend to normally like sit on the tables, or they might stand kind of thing, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, but like they seem to be somewhat well behaved most of the time when I play the game. So hopefully it works out well for you guys. So yeah, and then I did say a home office, right? So we do have a home office as well downstairs on the ground floor. It's not a huge office, but it's big enough to like have the desk, like a bookshelf in there as well, and then like two chairs as if there was like, going to be a meeting in there as well. So I thought that's kind of cute. A playroom on the ground floor. There's definitely going to be like multiple children or teens in this house. I kind of decorated the bedrooms as like, I tried to like mix it up and create it so it's several different life stages, but I feel like we've got a teen, a child, an infant, and then like a pre-teen, and then we've got maybe like a young adult couple. So like one of the children is a young adult, so like maybe the parents are adults, or like, I don't think they'll be elders, but they'll be adults, and then they have like a young adult who maybe still lives at the family house, but they live with their partner lives with them or something like that. I don't know, because I gave them like a double room, and it makes it, I don't know. I just thought I'd create like another double room space. So we've got like rooms that are slightly hidden into the roofs upstairs, which you would have kind of seen me do in the beginning of the speed build when I was just like filling in with roofs and stuff. And I did cut some of the roofing out because I just, for some reason, I've done it so many times. Like I've done like a room hidden in a roof so many times, but every time I come to do it, I always feel like I'm doing it for the first time, and I need so much time to like figure out where to put roofs and how to make it work, even though I've done it several times before. And it seems to always be base game builds as well that I'm doing like the hidden rooms in a roof kind of thing. But I was struggling so much. In the end, I got there, but I was struggling so much. I don't know why. I really like used as much as I possibly could in the Garden Havens kit, in the greenhouse. Like I just put everything I could find in there. And to be fair, the items are so cute, like the little gardening pots, the little tools, and like the fertilizer and stuff. I ended up going to the debug menu and just putting out like a pile of dirt from the debug menu and putting it next to the fertilizer. I just thought that looked cute as well. If you have, what do you call it, country living, I feel like this is such a cute house with chickens and like cow. There's literally so much space for it as well, because there's like a part in the garden where it's just like green grass. Because I was limited with the packs I was using there, I wasn't even sure what else to put there. I didn't want to use the big kind of like play apparator kind of thing. I just thought I'd give it a mess. I ended up putting some planter pots in the garden as well, and I ended up using like cherry trees and pear trees. You don't see me do it in the speed build because I actually get those from the gallery because I wanted them to just be grown and I don't want to have to think about it, so I do that kind of like off camera. And there's a few things that I just end up putting out with most of the rooms. I think upstairs is where I do it the most. Upstairs I pulled out as much items as I possibly could and then decorated, whereas downstairs I feel like I pulled out like some of the items and then kind of decorated as I went along and like added things as I went along. It just tried to speed up things because by the time I finished like downstairs, that was already day 2. So I was like, yeah, we need to get this moving. So day 3 is when I completed upstairs and made sure I completed all the finishing touches. It wasn't until I finished taking all the screenshots, filmed everything, when I realized we don't have a letterbox. So I did put that in before I uploaded it again to the gallery, because I think I uploaded it and then remembered, realized, and then re-uploaded it to the gallery. So yeah, we do have a letterbox now, like a mailbox. And in the garden, you will see me kind of put together a little tent area. I thought it'd be cute to have like a space where the children can like play, pretend, and like go in the tent and like read. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be cute. So like if you have the little campers kit, I think that could be a cute area to kind of like rearrange and like put out the little tent with the beds and stuff. I just thought it'd be so cute. So this is definitely one of the builds I feel like you can use with all the packs that you have, and then like just edit it to your style. I might start doing it where like I might just upload the shelver build and then a furnished version as well, so you guys don't have to like upload it unfurnished. You can just have it a certain way and it will just be unfurnished kind of thing, because this build will be so cute if you have like a bunch of different packs and like you can just do whatever, because I can imagine a basketball court being in here. I'm trying to think of if you have like the slip and slide thing from the backyard stuff pack. That's one of the stuff packs I want to get my hands on actually. I still have a list of packs that I want to get for myself, but I'm kind of holding out for a sale. I know EA had a sale recently. Well, I think they still do. I don't know. I thought it ended on the 28th, but as I'm recording this voiceover, I was going to say speed build, this voiceover, it's still saying the items on sale on EA, so I don't know. I don't know what the truth actually is. And yeah, but anyway, let me get back to my rambles I was talking about before. That little fertile window, it's got me feeling lonely. And I don't really feel lonely like that. Like, I know it's pretty normal for people to feel lonely or to feel like they need people around and whatever, but I don't normally get that feeling. Like I used to think I was something wrong with me because I never really would, like I don't really miss people. So I feel like I'm very much the kind of person, like if it's in my face, that's when I'm kind of thinking about it. But if it's out of mind, it's out of sight. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind, sorry, or the other way around. So sometimes like I don't have feelings of missing people, so it always makes me uncomfortable. Someone's like, oh, I've missed you, because I'm just a bit like, I can't say the same without it me being like feeling like I'd be lying, because I was like, I haven't thought about anyone, because I don't really do most of the time. So I used to think there was something wrong with me, because I was like, I don't miss people. Is there something wrong with me? Am I a bad person because I don't miss people? But yeah, so it always like takes me back when I have normal human emotions that I'm not used to having. So like feeling loneliness, when I don't normally feel loneliness, I might feel lonely in my thoughts, but I don't feel lonely in sense of company, like, oh, I need people around, or I want someone around me. That's not really a loneliness I feel often, because I love my own space and my own time. I think it's just easier for me to be in control when it's just me. And I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a control freak, but I think if I'm in a bad mood, if it's just me, then I just have to worry about getting myself out of that bad mood. But if there was someone around and I'm in a bad mood, then I'll be thinking about, oh, I don't want to put other people in a bad mood because I'm in a bad mood. So like, for me, it's just easier if I'm by myself, because then I can just deal with those things by myself. Because I feel like we all know each other as best as we can. Or like we have a better understanding of ourselves than other people might do, so we kind of know how to manage ourselves when we're like upset or annoyed about certain things. So yeah, I was just a bit confused. I was like, why am I feeling this loneliness feeling? Like, this is kind of weird. This is not weird, but it's like unusual for me. I don't really get that feeling. I even went like scrolling from my Instagram to look for somebody. I was just like, oh boy. And I was like, I'm not normally that kind of person who's just like, oh, do you know when you might get someone to slide back in the DMs after years of not seeing them or talking to someone? I'm not the kind of person that would do it, to be fair, but you know, I kind of had that. Kind of had that moment. But yeah, for a second there, I thought the audio stopped recording, so I was a little bit panicked there, just a little bit panicked. But we're still rolling. I don't know how long I have to talk for, but yeah, I think it's just interesting when you have feelings or like you experience things that you're not used to experiencing. Because I was like, I don't normally feel that some type of way about it. Like, I'm normally fine by myself, or just feel like I don't know. It doesn't really faze me, to be fair. Like, I'm not someone who's like, oh, I need someone around, or I feel lonely, I need someone around me kind of thing. I don't normally feel that. So I think I was just a bit taken back, like, why am I feeling this way? And then when you check your calendar and it's telling you that you're in your fertile window, it's like your body's really like trying to play tricks on you, like, because I'm saying I feel lonely in 2 2s. Is it that I'm lonely, or that my body is ready to reproduce and I'm not? Like, what? So yeah, and I think as well, like, I'm coming, like, so this year I'm 29 and then next year I'll be 30. So I think as well, like, as much as I hate the idea of like your age associated with certain things you should do in your life, and as much as I hate the concept of it, I think it's hard to pretend that it doesn't still happen. So as much as I don't want to like succumb to the idea of like, by this age I should be doing this, it still plays in the back of my mind sometimes of like, at this age I wanted to be here, or at this age I wanted to be doing this. So I think that's as well, that's kind of playing into the idea of like feeling kind of lonely, because it's like I don't have the other things going on in my life that I wanted at this point, and then at the same time I've kind of just like other things not matching up as well. It's like, oh damn, yeah, what's going on. But I don't know, it's life, isn't it? It's just life. I think as well, I've been so used to it just being me, so like I think as well you get so like, I know for myself anyway, I'm very, very comfortable in my space by myself, so the idea of me being with anyone right now, just honestly, it feels very uncomfortable, because it's like, that's not how do I do that? How do I be around other people? And not in like I mean, I could be around people, but I think my idea of like having people around means that I won't have space from that, when that's not necessarily true. But I think that's just one of my fears, is like, would I have a break from being around people, or being around a person specifically? If I'm saying that I'm feeling kind of lonely and I want someone around. And it's a weird feeling to have as well, because I was out with my friend, like I wasn't by myself anyway, but like I was out with my friend over the weekend. But I think there was just a little part of me that was just a bit like, ooh, there was a little someone there, you know. But yeah, like a significant other maybe would have been a slightly different experience, but at the same time I'm a bit like, I know myself, I ain't ready for that, because I think there's so much I need to do first for myself. Like, I don't want to say by myself, because I know some people are like, oh, some people can help you learn lessons and stuff like that. I think I just feel uncomfortable with the idea of that, and I think it's just because I mean, I said I'm not a control freak, but I think I'm kind of telling on myself. But it's like being out of that sense of control of like, do I want someone to like change me? Like, I want to change myself. Like, I want to be the best version of myself because I did that. I think it's uncomfortable, and probably a bit egotistical as well, to think like no one else is ever going to teach you anything, or no one else is going to make you a better person, or like even improve you as a person. It's probably a bit of ego talking there, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just talking to you guys like you guys know me. And I'm just ranting, but I think it's just because it's been on my mind, and it's been like this for the past few hours. So I say few hours, like 24 hours, so that's why I think I'm just like getting off my chest. I think it's good to talk. I don't talk enough about like all the things going on, so I think it's good to just talk and get off your chest and just vent, because that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just kind of venting, to be fair. So I hope that's, I don't even want to say entertaining, but I hope it's interesting, or like it's food for thought. I don't know if you're someone who's similar to me, that you don't think about certain things unless it's like in your face. Because yeah, I used to think it was a problem, but then I don't know if it's necessarily a problem. It just means I have to be a bit more conscious of like what I'm doing. So like, whereas other people might be like, oh, I'm thinking of someone, I'm just going to talk to them, I will have to make the conscious effort to do that, because I know I don't always have a thought about someone, so I might not always be like, oh, I'm thinking of so and so today, so let me actually go and like go out of my way and message them or whatever, I'll talk to them. So like, I have to make a conscious effort to do it, because I'm like, this isn't something that happens often, so let me get into the habit of like just doing it as and when it comes up, as opposed to like, because I feel like my communication skills have always been a problem, especially when it comes to friendships anyway, just not even anything else but friendships. Like, communication has been absolutely horrendous, to the point where it's like you're suffering and no one knows, because you're just not, I don't even want to say suffering, but you're going for things and no one knows, because you're like, yeah, but everyone else is going through things as well, so like, I don't really want to take away from what everyone else is going through or whatever. But at the same time, if you don't talk about it, no one knows, and if you don't talk about it, there's not even the chance of anyone being able to help. Even if you think they can't help, there's not even a space for them to even try or anything like that. So that's what I've kind of learned over some time, and it's uncomfortable, because asking for help is not always easy, and it's not always a nice feeling as well, especially if you've always kind of been pretty independent. It's quite hard to ask for help, because you kind of feel like you failed yourself, even though that's not actually true. But yeah, that's just a little thing that I've got, not even a little thing, but like something that I've always got to remind myself of. Like, it's okay to ask for help, even if it's uncomfortable. Like, it's better to be uncomfortable and ask for help than to be uncomfortable because you didn't ask for help, and then you're struggling, and then you're feeling even more alone because you've not asked anyone for any help or any support, and then you're wondering why no one knows or understands what you're going through, because of course no one knows, so they can't really help. Whereas at least there's an option to have help if someone knows that you're not okay or not feeling great or whatever the case may be. So yeah, but I've taken a few pause whilst I'm doing the speed build, so I hate when I like do that, because then I'm like, I don't know where my voiceover is gonna, if it's gonna match up with the footage that you're watching, because I could have taken a break, and then by the time I cut out that break, is it gonna catch up? I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I did decorate for an infant, and that was a downstairs bedroom as well. I like the idea of like the infant's room being downstairs next to the parents' room, like literally opposite the parents' room. Also with this build, there's two stairs, like two ways of getting upstairs. There's like when you walk in through the main door, there's stairs there, and then also if you walk to the right of the build, where the two bedrooms are, the master like ensuite bathroom and things like that, so the infant's room and then the master bedroom, that area is like there's a little hallway, and there's got stairs upstairs going to upstairs as well. So I kind of like the idea of like two entry points upstairs. I'm pretty sure the floor plan had that, so I just wanted to keep that with it. To be fair, I just wanted it to match up with kind of the floor plan, but also I just like the idea of it. I think it makes sense if you've got like a home that's got multiple rooms and multiple sims in it. It kind of makes sense to have different access points to the house. And then even like the sunroom, there's entrance there, there's entrance on the side of the house, there's obviously the main entrance. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I do want to make more builds where I have like the main bedroom have I want to have more balconies in my builds. I don't do balconies enough, and I feel like they're such cute kind of like additions to having a house, because I feel like it just gives you some extra areas, especially if you have like a teen's room and they have a balcony. If they invite their friends over, they can just sit on the balcony and talk, and I just like the concept of it. And I've really been getting into like locking my doors in the game. I don't know about you guys, but I used to never really lock doors. I didn't really play around with like the locking doors feature, to be fair, in The Sims. But recently I find it so handy. So if I don't want my like toddlers or infants coming into the room and like causing problems, I'll lock the door. I mean, infants can't really come into the room unless they're already out the cot, but I'll lock the doors. Or like if I don't want parents interfering with, or like grandparents interfering with the infants and toddlers and stuff, I'll lock the door for specific Sims. And I just feel like it functions so nicely that way. It is a bit annoying sometimes when everyone else is busy, and like the one Sim that can't actually get into the room is the one that's free and that could get the child or like the crying toddler or infant. But sometimes I'm like, it is what it is. They'll get over it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, this does have two like sitting rooms, like living spaces as well, like sitting spaces? Yeah, living spaces. So we have like one kind of like off the main part of the build, so in like the center of the build is like the main kind of like lounge area, and then there's one off on the side which has like a TV. It's a bit more casual, a bit more cozy, whereas the one in the main center kind of feels a bit like a waiting room, to be fair. Like I feel like I didn't put loads of detail in there because I couldn't really fit that much in it. It's kind of long and narrow, and I wanted just like a free flowing walkway space, so I didn't really put loads in that space. But if you're having like family over, I feel like it's a great space to just have everyone sit in and chill. I don't know what anyone's doing outside. My window's pretty wide open because it's a very warm day here. We are currently enjoying the summer weather that's approaching us. So when I say approaching us, it's pretty much here. As long as it keeps up, I'm happy. I just don't want heat wave shit yet. Just yet. Like I want to enjoy the cool breeze. I don't want the air to go stiff just yet, which always happens when we get the summer weather. But I digress. Yeah, I hope that background noise isn't too bad. I really hope so. And I'm still trying to work with my volume levels. Like every time I listen back to my speed boards, especially like by the time they go on YouTube, I listen back to them, the music's too low, my voiceover's too loud, and I'm like, how do I get it to work out right? And I don't know how to do it, because when I'm editing it, it sounds great, and then I upload it to YouTube and it changes for some reason. I don't know why, or like it just sounds different. So I'm still trying to tweak it and make sure that the volumes make sense, or like they just feel a bit more even, because at the moment I don't think they do. it does I don't know, it sounds a bit off. But yeah, we've got that kind of main scene area, and then so like the way the floor plan worked out is like you have the entranceway, and then off on the sides of the entrance, like the right and left side, there's two rooms, and one's a dining room, one's a separate another sitting room. And then I think they call like the main living room the great room, I think they call it. Yeah, I think it's called a great room. I always look at that in floor plans, I'm like, it's a very Americanized thing, because I don't think anyone here calls it a great room. It's just called a living room. You might have I don't know, I think it's pretty well just called a living room. I don't know if there's another name, to be fair. And I didn't have in mind what these Sims actually do. I just put in so many skill building things. So we've got a chess table, we've got a easel, we've got a telescope on the like the outside balcony area. Not balcony, the porch, I should say. And what else have we got? We've got a bonsai tree in the sunroom. we have in the games room. I've got like the cards table. I've got the guitar. I've got a bar. So we've got 2 bars. We've got the bar outside and we've got a bar in the games room. I felt like the games room is more of like a music room and like an adult space, because yeah, the children have got a playroom. They've also got like their own personal rooms as well. So I felt like the adults could have a separate space where they could do their thing, play some cards, listen to some music, have some drinks. I put a piano in the games room as well. I liked the way the games room turned out. It's a bit simple, like, but at the same time I used just base games, so, and then the 2 kits, and they didn't have a lot in there for a games room, so I was pretty limited on what else I could add in there. So it's a bit simple, but again, if you have packs, if you have like a range of different packs, you can really jazz up that room a bit more. I could have played with the lighting as well a bit in there, and like done some like kind of like moody lighting, maybe some like red, blue tones. I'm not too sure, but I think it would have just given it a bit more of a pizzazz, a bit more of an edge. I used the new stuff that we got in the like Sims delivery. So I put like the new bread that we have there on the dining table, and what else did I use from that? I'm pretty sure there's other things that came. Oh no, I think it was just that, and then we got the recipes. I haven't even tried the recipes yet. To be fair, I haven't even played the game recently that much. I've just been a bit in a funk of like when it comes to like building and like creating. I think I was just a bit annoyed as well. Like I filmed a Legacy Challenge episode and then I didn't like the way it turned out. I just felt like I wasn't aware of the fact that I was filming very well, so then I felt like I was just playing the game and then like sometimes narrating what's going on, and then it kind of felt like when I look back on the footage I was like, how do I make this work? Because most of it is just the game playing and not me really saying anything, which, you know, could be fine. I could keep it in, but yeah, I edited it and then I lost the footage of me editing. So I have to re-edit it. So once I finish this voiceover, that's the next thing I'm working on, is like re-editing the Legacy Challenge. I haven't even touched my Family Dynamics Challenge just yet. I mean, I played a few days off camera, not a few days, a few like hours off camera, and then I want to get back to it because, yeah, I need to get back to it, to be fair. I think this is one of the generations I'm struggling with though, with the Family Dynamics Challenge, which I knew would come. I knew there'd be a generation I'd struggle with because I didn't connect too much with what they were doing or the storyline or whatever, but I think it's always fun starting a new challenge. So when I started the Family Dynamics Challenge, I was so excited. I was having so much fun. And then season 2 was kind of like a breeze because you could level up on the skill quite easily because they could play video gaming and do programming from ages, like early. And it just felt a bit like it just worked a bit easier. Whereas this one, I'm like, we've got a bit of a runaway mum. She needs to open up like a store and sell her own knickknacks and like her own like little treasures, and I have to figure out how like she even came to the decision of that's something she wants to do. Like I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but I feel like it's one of those generations where I'm like, interested, but probably not my favorite generation so far. But I think I need to just take a minute to step back. I think that's what I needed, just that minute to take a step back and then get back into it when I'm ready to get into it, because I hate filming when I'm not in the mood to film and then everything goes wrong, because then I'm just like, this is why I didn't film, because I knew it would go wrong. And yeah, I don't want that. We don't want that now. But yeah, I'm even thinking of starting a SimSelf what do you call it, let's play as well. Like I'm really enjoying Ashley Plays. She has a SimSelf let's play and I'm really enjoying it. But I was like, my SimSelf let's play would be so boring because I don't go anywhere, and if I do go places, it's like, how do I recreate that in The Sims? But then I'm like, do I play it out as like my real life, or do I play it out as like my dream life? So yeah, that's an interesting concept. Like, do I play it out as my dream life and then all the stuff I would get up to if this was me living my true self, or as true as I'd want to, my alternative reality. So yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in that, like a SimSelf series. I don't know, because I did do a video. I've done it. I think pretty sure my first video, which I'll leave in the cards, is me making my SimSelf, and then I've done like my dream home. But like, I probably have different versions of what my dream home would look like, because I love a farmhouse style. I love that, and then I also love a very like cutesy cottagey style, and like I feel like the worlds that I would live in would be like Windenburg or Samashuno or Brindleton Bay. Like those are the kind of worlds like I wouldn't live in a world like, I don't know, I say I wouldn't live in a world like Solani, but that's probably I would probably like want to visit there. I like the difference of like knowing I could go there. So I might have a house in Solani that I would like buy out as well. But yeah, I don't know. If you're interested in me doing a sim stuff, let me know. I do have, I think, one other video that I planned that I did get you guys to like vote on. Pretty sure it was a community park. So I need to plan that out. I've got some like stuff saved on Pinterest, but I haven't gotten around to actually starting it yet. So I do want to do a park for you guys. I'm not too sure. I was thinking of doing it like a base game park, but I feel like it's so restrictive because there's just not enough stuff in base game when it comes to like outdoor activities. There's just not enough stuff. So I feel like it just makes sense if I just do it kind of like an unlimited different packs, or maybe I'll do like a pack limited build where I just use maybe like city living and like I'm trying to think of stuff that has outdoor stuff like packs that have outdoor stuff, and then that way I can make it relatively interesting like park, because I've done like base game parks before and they are doable, but I feel like they all like have the same things because one, they have requirements, and two, there's only so much you have in base game. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but that is something I do want to work on because I feel like I'm terrible at like keeping myself accountable, and like if I say I'm going to do things, sometimes I don't always do it, so it's just annoying that I do that to myself. But I do want to like stay with what I say, and also just like working my way through like the tiny home scales and like doing smaller and smaller homes and seeing if we can actually do a tiny home, like an actual tiny home. I'm nervous, but let's do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. But yeah, as always, if you have any suggestions, you can always leave them in the description and I will see them and I can work on them. But yeah, I was thinking of like, I don't know how I'm going to work this out, but I was thinking of like figuring out if I could take a break from YouTube and like really work on what it is that I want to do and what my actual schedule looks like, or if I'm going to just continue uploading when I have videos as opposed to like having an actual schedule. I'm just not too sure yet. I haven't quite figured it out. Because, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I can't believe I've actually been speaking for like 40 minutes. That's crazy because, well, yeah. I just can't believe I've actually been talking for as long as I've been talking, because with the other people's that have been way shorter, I've been like, oh, I don't know what else to say. Whereas now I've just like rambled on about life and like loneliness. Just, I don't know, it's not really depressing necessarily, but it's not the most, I was going to say exciting, but like, it's not the most cheerful of conversations, is it? But it is what it is. We're human. We have these emotions. It's just real life, isn't it? And yeah, I think I was just getting a bit. What's the word? Is it reminiscent? So like I was like thinking about older times, other times when I felt certain ways or done things differently, or like just had other things going on, and I was just a bit like, yeah, I'm just not the same person, and that's okay. But I think it's just uncomfortable to realize that you've changed and like you're trying to rediscover yourself now, because like once you've changed, it's like, okay, now who am I at this point in my life, or like what do I like at this point in my life, and like figuring that out for myself. And yeah, it is what it is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms upstairs, the games room, and then 2 of the bedrooms have an ensuite. One of the games room have a little ensuite, like half bathroom, and then there's like a main bathroom upstairs as well, and then you've got like that long thin hallway and then you've got that kind of 2-story view where the stairs are, which I really love, like 2-story entry. I'm pretty sure like the last video I was like, how do I say it, what's it called again? But I'm pretty sure it's called as a 2-story or double-story 2-story entry where you can still see upstairs from downstairs, that kind of thing. I love that. I just love that, especially in like real architecture, and I love it in The Sims as well. So yeah, I decorated like several different rooms, and the basement treasures kit comes in handy with the bedrooms because you can add like little knickknacks in there. So in one of the rooms I add like the cluster of trophies, and then I kind of went with this idea of like the sim is like very sportsy, very popular in school, probably like this teen is very sporty, popular, probably in all the different teams, like sports teams that you can probably be in The Sims, but they're also still kind of like fashion, like they still like fashion kind of thing. I was gonna say fashionista. Like, I should have said fashionable. So they're still pretty fashionable. They're into sports. They're into quite the popular related things in the high school, basically. And then I went with like the pre-teens room is really like girly, like pinks and purples. And I used that stack with has like the telephone that's come off the hook, like the set. I used that in that room, and I just thought it looked so cute. It came together so cute. I think it's such a cute room. It's like purpley and it's just cutesy. And then the other room is a bit more like space, but like it's a bit of a mix mash, but it's like I've kind of themed it for like a boy, but it can obviously be for anyone. And it's like they're just like sciencey stuff, and they're like exploring, they're probably more outdoorsy, Then they don't really spend a lot of time indoors. I think that it's quite outdoorsy. And then there is the next double bedroom, and then I kind of thought that maybe there's a young adult living there. Maybe they're at university, so that room isn't like super cluttered and stuff, because they're like in and out of the house basically. Of course, my brother came in and disturbed my little voiceover. I was on a roll. But yeah, I think maybe the other double room could be for a young adult that's at university, and then they just come back obviously when they're like out of term. I don't know, what do you call it? I don't know. But yeah. Also, this video is gonna come to an end soon-ish. And I don't really know what else to talk about, to be fair, because I've kind of oh brother, I've kind of spoken through what I've kind of like done with the build, so I'm not sure what else I talk about. And I feel like as well, when I went on that rant, it does make you feel a bit more exposed, you know? It does make you feel a bit vulnerable. So I don't know if that's now why I'm like, I don't know what else I want to say. Now that I've got that off my chest, what else do I say? But yeah, this build as always is up on my gallery ID, Saabythesimmer, or you can search Sabira02 to find my builds. It is called an 8-sim family home. I think I have another 8-sim family home on my gallery as well, but it'll obviously be the most recent one. And I like the way it turned out. I think it turned out pretty cute. And again, it's only base game and then the basement treasures kit, greenhouse haven, and then I use that free holiday pack thingy in there as well. And I'm pretty sure I only use it for like the fireplace frame. I don't think I use it for anything else. I can't actually remember. Or maybe I used one of the candles. Oh no, the string lights, they come from that pack as well, didn't it? Pretty sure the string lights from the in one of the bedrooms as well as from that. But yeah, I will leave you to watch the rest of the video. Screenshots are at the end. If you have any suggestions for me, what you want to see me build, what you want to see me do on this channel, do let me know in the comments, and I will try to get that sorted for you. But yeah, I'm gonna work on like, what my schedule's actually gonna like and how I'm gonna upload a bit more frequently and a bit like, I think I just need to organize myself a bit better. But like I was saying, I have like no energy really, so I need to like see if it's, I think it is my diet, to be fair. I don't really eat things that give me like actual energy and like fuel me, so I need to like work on that, and then that way I can feel a bit better about myself. Like generally I won't feel so sluggish all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that, do some meal planning, meal prep and stuff, and hopefully that gives me the boost that I need so that I can actually get the things done that I need to do. But yeah, if you've liked this video, please do leave a like. I'd very much appreciate it. If you haven't already commented, please leave a comment. I feel like I can't get my words out. And I will see you next time on the channel for a new video. Hopefully it'll be the Legacy challenge and Family Dynamics challenge coming real soon as well. We'll see what happens when I go and edit it again, if I even like the footage, which I didn't actually when I did go to edit it. But that's besides the point. Screenshots are coming at the end of this video. You'll be able to see the floor plan as well, like a bird's eye view. I will also post a few screenshots on Twitter and Instagram, and also Reddit, because I like to post on Reddit as well. And I haven't been streaming that much lately either, so my details for my Twitch is in the description. But like, you'll just get notified when I go live on Twitch if you give me a follow. I don't have a set schedule at the moment, just because I've just again not had much energy. So hopefully I can work on that. Hopefully I can feel a bit more like myself, a bit more energetic, a bit more with a new lease of life, and we can get back to like our regular scheduled programming. Yeesh, I can't even get my words out. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. I'll see you real soon. Bye.